Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. I am Adanna Combie and we're just about 7:49 a.m. So if you're getting to work for 8, you have 11 minutes. Remember to drive safely on our nation's roads. I know you don't have to drop the kids off to school today because guess what? It's the end of the term. But be safe on our nation's roads. And as we continue talking about relief efforts for Hurricane Beryl, persons impacted by Hurricane Beryl, we want to switch a little bit as we head on over to a conversation with Kern Joseph. You might know him as Trinidad Killa. He is living there out in Brooklyn, New York, and he provides a public service to communities in where he resides. And we want to talk a little bit about that and tie it into how Hurricane Beryl has impacted his giving this morning. So we're speaking this morning to Trinidad Killa. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, good morning. How are you?
I am
Blessed
well,
morning.
thanks. It's a good morning to speak with you this morning, and we're so happy to have you on air with us. And so we're talking about Public Service Day and your efforts there out in Brooklyn, New York. Tell us a little bit about your efforts, what you have been doing, and the primary reason or what drove you to embark on this type of giving.
Well, from small ever since I used to live Trinidad, also Tobago, I always used to like to give back to the community because I come from a family only grew up with a mom, and growing up, I grew up in a Christian home, and my mom always used to cry with to church every Saturday, and every Saturday she always used to give us $2 to put in the offering. Even self is a dollar, and she always used to say, when you give, you just get. So I always grew up with that giving spirit and always giving back to the communities, because I know sometimes it's very hard out there for people living in countries.
That's right, of course. And now that you know the Caribbean islands have suffered the impact of Hurricane Beryl, how does it make you feel now that you have embarked on this project in terms of giving to your communities to persons who are in need and who are unable to help themselves at this point in time?
Well, the morning I wake up and I went on the social media and I see everything was going on, I feel real hurt within because it could have been me, it could have been you, it could have been a family member. Plenty people is going through it right now. So whatever I could do within myself and within my community and within the people I know to get help towards helping somebody, I'm gonna do it, you
And
know.
And how has your help impacted the lives of those you've been, distributing these food items to? I see you there, having conversations with people in the community. How have they been responding to it, in terms of showing gratitude and, being very happy and grateful that you're able to provide that measure of help for them?
Well, people is very, very, very happy in terms to see what going on because we reach when we pull up with the food and we start to give the food, people was saying like they didn't eat for certain days because it are plenty people coming over the border from Tijuana into the United States, nowhere to go, sleeping on the streets. They don't have a direction. You understand? And I just take it upon myself because I have a little small team here over in America, Yankee Boy and others, that we could do something and give back to the community. And since we started to do it, real people is coming forward and patronizing towards the event. Yeah.
And I saw in one of the clips there where you were providing some local cuisine. If I'm not mistaken, I saw you cooking some pilau there. And I know how is, in terms of your packages, persons with a different taste, of course, of people in the United States, what have they been responding in terms of the types of meals that you've been providing? And I want to talk a little bit about your team because you did mention that you have a small team there, and
Yeah.
people coming together to assist and to provide and obviously to donate to the cause. How have you been able to get the team together to provide that measure of support?
Well, my eye is all about goodness. So anybody come around me, I always try to teach them the road because as a youth growing up, I grew up very hard as well. You understand? Me grew up with a mother, leave my mother house at a young age, end up on the street, get myself in trouble. But if someone fail in life is because the desire to fail. It have so much opportunities out in the world. You just have to put yourself in place. So everyone who come around me, I just try to teach them the road, and tell them a little bit of my past to encourage them and inspire them to do the right thing. You understand? And when they come around me, I say, well, fellas, this is what we're doing, and let we make it happen. And it was a good idea. So everybody say, well, once it's goodness, we on board. So everybody just come together and we do it and we make it happen. In my team, it's all about love. It's all about togetherness. It's all about unity. And it's all about helping we fellow brothers and sisters. Instead of pulling down a brother, pulling down a sister, we always give them that encouragement to move on, because just a little word of advice could make someone change their whole perspective towards something. And all somebody does want is sometimes the encouragement, because plenty people out there right now living in a world with a loss, nobody to talk to, nobody to turn to, you understand? So I always try to be a brother keeper to my friends, family, and anyone who need help.
Kern, we really appreciate your efforts and we wish you the very best as you continue to provide that measure of support and relief to your communities. And we do hope that you continue to get, your team continues to grow and that you get the donations that you need to continue providing food items to persons who might be in need. And of course, that encouragement, that motivation, telling people about your story and helping them also to overcome challenges that they might be facing and having a better perspective on life. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking with Kern Joseph, known to us as Trinidad Killa, as he embarks on his food drive there in Brooklyn, New York, helping those in his community who are less fortunate or unable to provide a meal for themselves, even just for a day. We have to go for a quick, short break before we come back to you. And of course, before we go for a break, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
My inspiration comes from God and not man. As a youth growing up, I grew up in a Christian home. Every Saturday we used to go to church, and every Saturday my mother always used to give me $2, $3, even self is $1, and say, give back. When you give, you just get.
He's doing something epic, giving back to the community. I think it's such a great thing to do.
The world right now today need more love.
It's really amazing to see the direction he's heading in. It's definitely a great example of Black excellence.
I'm so proud of you and I'm so happy you're here in Brooklyn with us.
God, as I come before you today, God, as we are about to go out on the street, God, and bless someone today, God, I want you to watch over all of us. God, send your angels to guide over. I believe in love, I believe in peace, I believe in unity. One of the best ways to do God's work is through charity.
You're still willing to take your time to give to the community, and because of that, whatever you already have, you're going to get blessed 10 times more for doing it.
Yeah,
but you don't have to do this.
Boys.
You have to do this.
You know, it's just a love one.
Trunk full up, inside it full up. We have our next white van across there. Everything load up. Now it's about going and giving. We had a nice little event over the weekend. And they said, you know what? We had to contribute back. We had to give back to the less fortunate. And as more as we make at the same thing we do this, it's the same thing we'll keep on doing.
This whole movement is all about love. It's all about our brotherlyhood, where everybody coming up together. Big up Papa and big up Mumu, big up Yankee Boy, and most definitely Island Rib House for lending with the venue and still patronizing towards this event. And you don't have to be a millionaire to give back, but it are plenty people who support us within the creative industry. This video is just to encourage more people to come front and let we help our people. This is not about pushing camera in nobody's face, looking for a high, but we use the camera for the people to see what we're doing, to encourage more people to do what we're doing.
Big up to Trinidad Killa, big up to Yankee Boy and Papa. You're gonna learn.